Yo, how's it going, everybody? We are live for the first proper time since I've taken my break. So there was meant to be a stream over the weekend. I'm sorry to everybody that kind of didn't get to join in on that because it glitched out really hard, and I immediately bailed on it because it just wasn't going to work. Those are the videos that I made during the week. Those on Monday, they were the race videos that I did. That was basically a substitute. But today, there was a big automation update, and I want to show you something that I made in automation. And I'm just going to turn that engine off so you don't have to listen to it. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's the right one. So yeah, this is something that I made in a video yesterday, and then they updated automation, and I was like, well, that video's out of date already. So like, they literally had the big update, I think it was yesterday or the day before. And then today was meant to be the day that I edit said video and I release it, but they had another update. So this is the cars that I made for the video. They got scrapped! Yay! You know what? I am so out of practice, I forgot that I usually have music playing. So I'm going to do that. Let's get something playing in the background. You know, just something nice and chill. Let's go not required. And mood? Can we go funky again? Yeah, let's go funky. And play. Weird. But it's passable. Hopefully that's not too loud. It's a Christmas song. You know what? Actually, it's the season. So why not have a Christmassy song? How is everybody's December going so far? Nice to see you back from holiday. Thank you very much. So let's do some hellos. We got Contentify, welcome. Admiral Obvious, welcome back. Warbot, welcome back. It's about Tome? Sure, welcome. Shivy54, welcome, bro. You're the one that said that you made the bus body right. You never did contact me like I asked you to. Floppy Fintorp, welcome to the stream. You're swell? Oh, great. Please not Mariah Carey thing, I forgot her BAME? English. You like cheese? Great there. Just plain documentaries? Just plain words? Okay. Looking forward to the end of the semester? I mean, if you lived in Australia, that would have ended about mid-November. Because your summer holidays, for us, started, like, because we're half a year out. So some say that we're 18 hours ahead of America due to the time zones. We're actually, like, 6 months and 18 hours ahead. Realistically, because of the seasons. We had plenty of time to tell you about 9/11, but, you know, spoilers. Didn't want to ruin it. It's great. Wait, what are we talking about, Shivi? Just what was performance of Portal RTX? What are we talking about? G'day from WA. Oh, welcome from SA then. I suppose your g'day from WA could also be g'day from SA, because it still rhymes with A, which is Australia. Yeah, I made the bus mod, but I haven't had a lot of time recently. Fair enough. I was just going to run you through, like, if there wasn't actually much to do to get your vehicle from where it was to being actually properly usable in automation. So, is that really loud, or is it just my headset? Maybe my headset is turned up a lot. My semester ended already, working full-time. Ah, full-time? What are you doing? I give lots of people tips. It's about Tome. So, I don't know. I'd have to see your channel again. Time to relax now, 20 minutes ago? Oh, perfect timing for you then. A lot of schoolwork to do in the last few weeks. That sounds unfortunate. Well, let me know when you're ready, and I'll run you through it. Yeah, fair few classes have finals in the very last day of the semester. It's a bit annoying. Yeah, that makes sense. And welcome back, Corn Dog, as well. Alex Selchow, welcome. That is quite the last name. You work on GM garbage. Oh, you're a car mechanic. Okay, well, I mean, you're a car mechanic, which is a pretty cool job, which is something I would have done if I didn't have back issues. Every time I try to work on my car, my back hurts like hell, and it always has, ever since I started working on cars when I was about 12. So, man, I would have loved to have done it, but just, I can't. Know any good tracks for NASCAR? There is Motorsport Playground on BeamNG. You can go get that one. Really good map. Anyway, it looks like I've caught up to chat. So, we have here 2 vehicles, which are in the same thing, and one of them exported as electric by default. So let me quickly show you this. This is what is now possible. So I'll scroll down. Here we go. You notice that it's got a 2 there? That means that there's 2 variants. I could have done more, but this is what I've got here. You open that up, and I've got an EV one that exported as an EV. And then I've got the electric one, which exported as a petrol one that exported as a petrol one. So, automation upped its game. It's just not straightforward. There's some things you have to know, which you would know if you read the documentation on the patch notes, but I'll quickly show you. Whoops. So petrol, you can hear it's petrol. And a lot of fun. I think I have a cliff here, right? There you go. Oh, wow. Oh, okay, no, it lost both of its front tires. I was about to say, that stood up really well to the crash. The body did, sure, but not so much the wheels. They're, departed. Man's got 4,096 mods? What? New York rust destroys GM frames. Yeah, rust isn't really a big issue in South Australia. It's more of an issue on the East Coast, where Sydney and whatnot are, because there's lots of humidity and lots of rain. But here in South Australia, it is incredibly dry. So you know how Australia, you may not know this, is the driest continent in the world. It's a bit of a surprise. I mean, we're an island. You'd think that it would be a little bit wetter, but no, we are the driest. And South Australia, where I live, is the driest state in Australia. And, except, oh, hey, look! The Plain Expert 10. Somebody else apparently likes cheese as well. Do I like cheese, guys? You're talking about the cheese wedge car? Ooh. That's good thinking. I could do that video again. And I think I am going to do that video again, because that is a cool idea. Anyway, you're surprised it didn't catch fire? Yes, there are new fire-catching things now, but that depends where the nodes are. And then we have an electric one. It's a little hard to tell, because the engines are very quiet. Oh dear. Let's skip this one. It's got lyrics in it. Alright, that works. Lucky your cars must last forever? Depends on how they're looked after, but it is very easy to have old cars here. More lyrics. More lyrics. Sounds like the same artist, so I'm just going to skip a bunch. There we go. This is still... Is it really loud for you guys? For me, it's like distractingly loud. Now, for you guys, it's really quiet. All right. Because of reasons, EVs are locked to a 50-50 split? No. Yes, but technically wrong. Let me show you something. And this is pretty darn cool. I'll bring up a new app. Powertrain visualization. Does that help you understand it a little bit better? They're not a 50-50 split. There's 2 motors, so it's a dual motor, which I thought was pretty cool that they did it that way. And it's actually easy to fix. If you don't want dual motor or whatever, you go into here, go into engine, and then you have front and rear motor. You could just remove them or add them or whatever. And because there's 2 different variations as well, I've got like the electric, because every car now exports with an electric motor. Whether you activate it or not is different, but if you do a specific little trick, it'll export by default as electric, and then it'll be electric for people that you share it with. Yes, there is 2 engines in here as well. So you've got the 13.6 litre V10 and the 6.5 litre V8. Now, I'm going to say the way in which they do dual vehicle export now, so then you have like the selector and the vehicle selector, is incredibly unrefined. Like, it's very unrefined. I think they've done it this way specifically because they saw my video on it and how they probably realized that a lot of people wanted to do this, but my way was so jank that I don't think they actually really changed much or anything at all to make this possible, but they showed a much smarter and much quicker way of doing it in the patch notes, which I don't know if it was a patch or not. I think it was, yeah. Oh my god, man. Stream name reveal. The Steam name reveal? It's Philman86. If you try to add me during a stream, you get banned. If you don't do it during a stream, I'll just ignore you, so you'll be fine. You'll still be able to, like, interact with me on, like, comments and whatnot. But yeah, you... don't add me on Steam. I don't like to have people on my Steam account because I have my friends on there, and I don't like having to sort through a whole bunch of names to get to my friends. Same with Discord. I don't like disorganization. I don't know. It's hard to say that without, like, impressing that I'm trying not to be a dick. But I hate notifications. I hate all those sorts of things. As you may notice, I had, like, the Steam notifications for when my friends play games even turned off. Like, I turn off wherever I can. I don't turn notifications off on Discord because I very specifically want to be able to respond to people that actually want to be able to connect with me for a very specific reason. Better than the F250 and the F350 already? Okay, so yeah, we're also going to go into a little bit of tuning, because by default, the engine's export, or the electric motors export not particularly great. So we'll be going through that as well. So let's go ahead, UI apps. We're going to get rid of that. So, yeah, these are the vehicles today. We're going to make new ones. We're going to start from scratch. It's not particularly hard. It'll probably take me about an hour to make the first vehicle. Then I'll show you how to do the EV export thing, which is just in the description. I'll just explain it to you. We'll just exit out of here. New update, new splash screen. We'll go over that in a second. Here's the patch notes. Lots of things in here, mostly to do with the campaign mode, which hopefully the campaign mode now is now fixed, which previously it was just filled with so many inconsistencies and so many problems that it was nigh unplayable. Then here's the part to do the EV one. On the final, or second to final screen where you do like the car test on the test track and check your markets and all that, there's a description button. You go in there and you type in !EV ! And instead of just exporting with the electric motors, it'll export with the electric motors on by default. Then we've got the ability to export several trims at the same time. Configurations must be exported and unpacked in the same mod. So, you know when you go to export, there's a little checkbar mark on like exporting, export the cars unpacked. You have to have that one deselected so then they are unpacked. My brain isn't working right. And then you have to have the mod names and whatnot the same. Then that'll export together. Then when in BeamNG, you can click on the mod and then click pack. And then you could share that mod with everybody. But we're going to go a little bit deeper into it, and I'm going to show you actually how to do it. Next thing that is probably going to be apparent to most people is Automation's opt-in alpha branch is now the main branch of Automation. So those people that were holding off, you're fucked. You're now going to be stuck with this unless, I think, hold on. Properties, betas. Okay, yeah, if you have the... You can go in here and select like the previous version, which I believe is 21. Because I believe now we're in 42. There are so many things in here, I don't understand. I think I'm still in the opt-in alpha, but I'm not going to figure that out in the stream because I didn't realize that I was still in the opt-in. I don't know, maybe it's just the main stream now and they update both or whatever. Take the largest vehicle you have and heavily underpower EV motors to reduce quality. What? Anyway, now I'm going to go over the new splash screen, which I don't like. Now, for those of you that don't remember, it was like a muscle car, and to be honest, Automation was really good at making cars from, like, the 60s all the way to about, like, late 80s or mid 80s to, like, early 90s sort of time period. Anything newer than that, it starts to become a problem again. And this is a big example of why I don't particularly like, most of the time, making modern cars in Automation. And one of the biggest downfalls of Automation is that the bodies are flat with fixtures cut into that flat body. That's the general main thing of it. Now, they've done an amazing job here with the headlights, and I commend them just a whole bunch for being able to do something there, which a lot of people don't. I made a mod for it. I haven't released it yet because it's unperfect. But you can see here that the front grille areas and all that sort of stuff, they're very flat and very boring. Same with this flat side body, and you can totally tell that this side vent is just cut in. Not great. Also, the rear taillights look very janky. I am not a fan of it. If I had have chosen a car to represent Automation, it would have been a much older car. I mean, even having a look here, like, this is a better picture, I would say. I don't know why they didn't go with this picture. It looks a hell of a lot better. The other ones that are in here, like, this car looks better, in my opinion. Oh, not so much looks better, but is a better representation of what you can do in Automation to show, like, things can actually look good. Moving on, that looks pretty horrible. Like, this looks pretty cool. Though it is flat on the side, I think this looks much better. And I think this would have done much better as a splash screen car as well. I think this one here, that they've taken a picture of, looks like it would have been a much better splash screen picture than the one that they chose. In fact, actually, I'm going to go back. Why the hell didn't they use this picture? Sure, it's still a flat side, but at least they've used ray tracing here and it looks a hell of a lot better as opposed to this, which doesn't look good. Like, it even shows the polygonal sort of thing of the wheel arch. I'm not a fan. The car won the photo challenge? Alright. Can't I change it to a custom one? Yeah, sure, but this is a representation of a game that I love, and a lot of people are going to see this and going to be like, oh, really? Like, that doesn't look good in that picture. That is not a good picture of it. It even shows up here. This is a much better car. A picture of a car. Now. I've never really been a fan of the design of that car. Like, it looks wild and insane, much more than what I could ever do. But it does look a little bit flat, which is not very, yeah. You know what? Actually, hold on. Let's go back to this one. I think this is a great photo that they should have had as their splash screen, maybe. Like, this is actually a good thing. Like, I know that they wanted to have a competition or whatnot, but I think this is a great photo. I mean, hell, I have a whole lot of photos that are much better than that. Forgot that I even had this open. Some old cars that I was just fiddling with. A Porsche. This kind of looks okay. Like, this is a modern car. I think I did okay there. There we go. I think that's a pretty good picture as well. I didn't submit because I didn't make it in time. Too much shaping and automation, and I agree. This here has a hell of a lot of shaping and a hell of a lot of time put into it. And it just looks like a moderate car. Doesn't look great, doesn't look bad. There were some glitches in the photo. For some reason, there's this line here, which isn't actually there. It just, whenever I go to do ray tracing on these photo scenes, for some reason, that would always show up. But yeah, you get the idea. Actually, hold on. Let me go back to that. There was a car that I tried to submit, and it was this car. So this was my submission, and I couldn't take a good photo of it. Because every single time I tried to take a photo of it, it would crash my thing at the time, and I didn't get to make it in time. Did I take another photo of this somewhere? No. What is all better? Alright, well, I don't have the better... I did have other photos of it, but I don't know where it went. I mean, hell, a picture of a truck like this would have done better than the one that they chose. Might be able to update the engineering basic guide now. Not sure what you mean by that. Looks like a Honda Civic better, the one that I was showing? Yeah, kind of. But yeah. Like that hatchback range is what that car was that I was looking at earlier. This... That is not a good photo. Like, you could see clear lines along here. And it's not a good photo. Literally, this photo makes it look 10 times better. Don't know why they didn't use it. Automation is hostile to most GPUs in photo mode. Yeah. Also, especially Radeon. I don't know why my computer... You know what? I got the Radeon recently, and I'm thinking of getting rid of it already. If I wasn't a content creator, I wouldn't have a problem. I would work around everything. But I need to make content. And it sucks. It so sucks. Like in the middle of recordings when my drivers crash for the 3rd time. It is so crushing. Though it doesn't crash every single time I record. It's only sometimes it gets into like a really bad way. It sucks. Anywho. So I've only made these 4 cars since the update. Is it me or is it really a dark screen right now? Not sure. Oh yeah, this is also when I was trying to do multiple car exporty thingies. This was the vehicle that I made, a little mini truck and this. Oh, sorry, a little minivan and not a minivan, just a small van and this small ute. Very tiny, very small, very cool. Just one of the ones that I make in the background. I make lots of cars on my own without making videos. Have I updated my drivers? When I update my drivers, then I can't use DaVinci Resolve. Radeon sucks. Honestly, it is just atrocious. I'm getting rid of it. If you're looking for a great economical card, they're pretty good. And if you want something that is good for the environment, I should say good for the better for the environment, they use considerably less power per performance. Until I think you get to about the 3060 sort of range. I think there they sort of level out a little bit. I'm not sure with NVIDIA. But yeah, they're a good card. It's just for content creation, you need a lot more consistency. And the cards aren't as consistent, and their drivers aren't as consistent as NVIDIA. Make more motorbikes? Maybe, we'll see. That video did terribly, by the way. At first, I had to like change the thumbnail and whatnot a few times until it actually caught on. Let's go ahead and make a new car, and I'll quickly show you my stats for that. My stats have been abysmal recently. Let me show you like the top 10 recent videos. We have pre-break, 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 after break, after break, after break, after break, after break, after break. The algorithm totally punishes you for taking time off. Definitive proof. Completely undeniable. Though it is also true that my CTR has been down, but I think that's just because the algorithm has always sucked. Just get the flop that was the RYX 4080. Oh, hell no, I'm not getting a 40 series. Hell no. Look at that. The reason why not is Australia has some of the more expensive electricity in the world, but South Australia has the most expensive electricity in the entire world. I think my electricity at the moment costs like 64 cents per kilowatt. I get a discount if I pay on time, but that is the cost of electricity per kilowatt at the moment. That's also Australian dollars, so you'll have to convert that. That's like 50 to 55 American cents, I think, per kilowatt. But yeah, it's crazy. Turn down the music? All right, let's try that again. It's like as low as it'll go. All right, is that better? I'm gonna turn it off for myself now. So yeah, not getting the 40 series because of electricity prices. That's why I looked at Radeon. I probably would have gone with NVIDIA again if it was just like on price to performance. Like there weren't too much more. I just didn't want to switch driver categories. But looking at the electricity usage of the top end ones and even the mid-level ones, it was atrocious. So yeah, let's go ahead and pick an EV, because I'm going to do two vehicles, an electric and a petrol. Oh, there's also not a way to do hybrids right away. I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to do that to make that easier for you guys. I don't even get notified I've got you belled. Oh, that sucks. Is there anything new in this update from the beta branch? Yes. As I said, the EV stuff, and we now have a clear way to do automation exports to get multiple variants. That is the big thing that we're talking about today. There's a lot of other stuff, and there's actually one thing that I do want to specifically look at. Let me bring it up, because I think this is really cool, and something which I don't think was really catered to enough. Oh yeah, there's also like a fire simulation, which makes me think that fuel tanks now also will run out of, will get lighter as you run out of fuel. Here we go. Twin tube dampeners now lose effectiveness under fast movement due to aeration. I need to do a proper test on this, but that is something that I think is really cool in BeamNG now. Some will glance over some of the patch notes, seem to be missing something. If you go down to the bottom, basically the last caption here is the BeamNG export changes. This is the big one. But yeah, EV exports, multiple configurations. Basically, if you do what I do, this is the stuff where it mostly matters. The rest of the stuff, there's interesting things in here, but it's mostly campaign-based. But yeah, this is the big beta branch update. Hey, Omar, how's it going, bro? Are home solar panels or windmills popular then? Even solar panels are quite popular, but they're really shittily done by the government. So what happens is the government has said now, set out basically a way in which... Hold on, is my stream back up again? Alright, it looks like my stream is back up. Ever since I upgraded to Radeon as well, my network adapter has been crashing a lot. So I just had a small crash. So yeah, the electricity companies can Let's make sure that this is plugged in properly. Alright, are we plugged in properly now? Looks like it's working again. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Don't get ratty on. Anyway, so yeah. What happens is a lot of people have the solar panels installed, and they only get a small discount. And it... Like, they never own the solar panels. And you're forever beholden to them. I think there's like a whole thing where a lot of the times you cannot get out of this contract without paying a huge fee, which is just the dodgiest thing in the world, and I think that should have never been allowed. The other one is government offers subsidies, so solar panel companies charge that subsidy amount extra, so it ends up costing the same amount as what it did before. It sucks so bad. Also, solar panels in South Australia don't last very long because our UV index and stuff like that is incredibly high compared to the rest of the world. So yeah, they get destroyed quite a lot. And overheat. Overheating is a big problem. And I also want to say one other thing that is really so stupid. And it was a dark time when we had the right wing here in South Australia. Do you know what they wanted to do to solar panels? Because they generated so much power during the middle of the day, and they had to, like, down the power generation, which was a bit of a problem, instead of doing storage or anything like that, they talked about not only, like, because here in South Australia, generally the thing is they pay you for excess power you put back into the grid, which is usually done across the world. Because if you're generating something, like, they're generating power and we pay for it. We generate power and they don't pay for it. Like, it's pretty stupid. Anyway, they were looking at charging you for putting power back into the grid. What? Oh my god. Just the most stupid thing in the world. Anyway, let's get back to what we're doing. We're going to create an EV cross petrol variant vehicle. And I thought the truck was a great one because the trucks are the only real category, I feel, where that's very common. Oh, you know what? Actually, hold on. The other one is a hatchback. So let's do a hatchback as well. Wheelbase. Let's go like a 2.2 meter. Body type. I mean, this one kind of works. This one works. We could use this one, but wait, that's 2020. That's really old. And it doesn't get much better. Why is there not many short wheelbase modern cars? What the hell? That's weird and annoying. Alright, let's just use... I think I'm going to go the 3-door. Well, it was a dark time, then having solar panels would have been a bad idea anyway. Well done. Well done, Omar. Well done. That's why I'd build my own wind turbines. Also EV. The patch notes haven't said anything about that. Or did I miss something? You clearly missed something. So, there has been 3 updates recently. There was the big update on December 7. Then there was the hotfix to fix all of the things that they didn't do right. And then there's the big push to main stream updates. But it's a 4.235. As I said earlier, look at the BeamNG exporter changes. There is the way now to do EV exports for default. Every car will now export with an EV, but if you do this, it exports by default and will spawn with EV motors. Anywho, I don't know if stream is better than sleep. You can go to sleep with the stream, I don't know. Maybe use it as a bit of an ASMR thing to sleep to. Filters might still be jank. What? Bro, I'm using Intel and it's jank better than a bad... Yeah. Wait, it's better than a... You reckon that your Intel drivers are better than a bad AMD driver? No, I mean I've been watching the new Linus Tech Tips series on the they're switching to Intel Arc for a month, And I'm waiting with bated breath to see how that turns out. I'm not going to go to Intel Arc because, once again, I am a content creator and I need stability. So, but I am very interested to see how that turns out. Welcome, Pruni YouTube. We're going to go with partial aluminium, not partial carbon fiber. Monocoque, made out of steel. Front transverse, because we're going to go for a cheap Econobox front-wheel drive. McPherson shots on the front, and then... Where's cabin base? Cargo volume, okay. So double wishbone, pretty good. Multi-link is a little bit better. Same with pushrod. How is pushrod good for cargo space? That is wrong. Torsion beam, much better. Semi-trailing arm is a little bit better. Apparently solid axles are good for trunk space. Better than double wishbone? Yeah, okay, kind of. Let's go torsion beam, because that is very, very common for rear suspension. Also, even realistic, shorter wheelbase modern cars are rare, given crash rolls and... Oh, you know what? You're right. But the one that I was thinking about was something like the Holden Spark or the GM Spark. That is a very small car, and that was one of the first ones to be the multi-vehicle switch. Lyrics again. Let's get rid of that. Holden Spark wheelbase. So that's 2.4 meters. I didn't realize that vehicle was that long. Alright, nice spotting that out. Let me go back then. What do we got? Yeah, this is a 2.4 meter, so this'll do. When will you make a new F1 cars? Next week. It's coming. It was actually going to be today's video, but the big new update put that off. I think my drivers crashed a little bit. Or they're starting to crash, I mean. I'm getting like screen flickering and whatnot. 9111 subs? Nice. Suspension and automation balance was going to come in 4.2, but it got pushed back to 4.3. Suspension and automation. I don't know what you mean by that. Guys, the Ibishu Pigeon is an EV. There's an EV version of it? Oh, interesting. Anywho, new project engine. This thing being a 2020 vehicle, we're going to go with a 3-cylinder. We're going to make it turbo. Aluminium, dual overhead cam, full Vasper cylinder, just simple old aluminium. Small bore, long stroke is very common. We're not going to get a higher RPM out of this. Let's go like a 1.1 liter? What do we reckon? Yeah, let's go 1.1 liter, I think. Oh, the cargo volume nonsense. Okay, fair enough. How is it everyone gets, but me gets straight answer from browser? What? Engine renew? No. What I've done is under settings and car design room. I've just got to switch to 2010s. This is something that I used to have a long time ago. Then I went into the alpha branch, and I think it was somewhere like before then or at that time it switched it back by default to the 80s design room, and I just didn't notice. I just like this one a little bit more. It's pretty cool. But yeah. Crank, cast iron. And do we go with a balance? Probably a harmonic dampener to keep it nice and cheap. I wonder if this actually changes. Is that... No. Let's turn the engine block invisible. Okay. So usually a harmonic dampener is like this thing and usually really heavy. But it looks like they don't have a visual change for it. Balance shafts? No, they don't have a balance shaft showing either. Maybe with an engine block. Okay. A balance shaft also usually runs the lengthways of the engine block and is usually on the opposite side of where all the auxiliaries are or tucked away. It's a thing to counterbalance the thing, kind of like a vector gun, like it just works in opposite to the recoil sort of motion. Basically, if you try to find something on Google, I can search the same thing anywhere else. Same thing everyone else does, and it'll get me sent in a while. Okay, stop using Google so much. If you start having problems with Google, it's atrocious, but move to Bing. It's the new meta for search engines. Google has gotten too optimized by people that make websites, and it's a problem. And then Google just goes, oh, these are the popular ones, this is all you want to see anyway. No statics for balance shafts, don't think you'll get one for the damper. That's fine. I was just wondering if that was a thing. Also, only a 1 kilogram harmonic dampener? That is very light. This is not a tiny engine. If this was to be double the size, it'd be like a 2.2 liter V6, so it's not that small. And it also has a very long stroke, which is like the more unbalancey part. Anyway, compression ratio, we're gonna go with a small turbo engine for this. RPM 5500, that seems good. Lower cam profile. Turbocharger. We're gonna go boost control. Standard geometry. Journal bearing. Oh, they got new pitches here. Interesting. Alright. Injection, direct injection, single compact. I'm thinking like a lower or a mid would probably be more appropriate for this sort of engine. Compact is very much out of fashion now that they understand things a lot better. Also with computer... Oh my god, the size of that turbo! I didn't notice. Holy crap, that thing is ginormous! Default turbo, a little bit thick. Also, I hate that the turbo mid like comes out really far. Same with... Oh! I feel as if the turbo race is like a little bit more compact now. But yeah, this manifold should come in a lot more, I feel. One thing I don't like with EV is most of those cars have very heavy batteries. Nothing wrong. I just don't like it. Petrol cars are getting very heavy as well, so that's not really much of a thing. As for weight, yes, roads do get destroyed a little bit quicker, but not a whole lot quicker. Battery technology is increasing in many different ways, and one of the things they're going to be able to do is make the batteries lighter in the future. It is getting there. There are applications where electric is just not really there. I think things like American trucks should be probably hybrid. Same with maybe even diesels. Maybe they could be hybrid. But big trucks, realistically, I don't know if electric really works for them quite yet. The batteries do weigh a lot, and there are weight limitations on vehicles. Trucks just aren't going to be able to really do a whole lot. It's going to be a problem. It depends what they're towing. I think it could be beneficial in certain ways. I think around towns, electric delivery vehicles could actually work. Probably hybrid would be the better way of doing it, though. Anyway, catalytic converter. We're just going to go a 3-way. Cheap, but not shitty like a 2-way because it needs to be very good for the environment. Then we're going to keep it nice. You know what, actually, we're going to have it a little bit loud so I can at least hear it in the game. So we're going to go straight through on a baffled. It's not usually what you would have on a car, but this is what we're going to have on this car. There you go. Okay. I think we need to make the turbo a lot smaller before we go much else. Oh wait, why don't I have twin scroll as an option? Batteries don't last long. That is also getting a whole lot better. They're actually currently pretty darn good. With the cost of batteries, it is nothing compared to the cost of fuel over time. Especially with also discounts and all that sort of stuff that you can get. I tried to give you some decent advice on old messages, you fool. What? Yeah, I'm waiting for the superchargers as well. Hell, goddamn yeah. Trim scroll only works on even cylinder counts. Huh. I never realized that's what they were doing. I always thought it was just a way of flowing gases so then it could be one or the other. My turbo's not even spooling. I know, we're still getting there. We're gonna now down the size of the turbo ginormously and run like 2 bar, something like that. Let's bring this down a lot. Huh, this doesn't want to kick in early enough. Temperature of the head is too high, that's fine. Headers are getting too hot. There seems to be issues. If I go full... Wait, no. Smaller turbine size, it doesn't pop, but yet it still has like a drop-off. Do I need Smart Boost? No. Variable geometry. Alright, we're going to run variable geometry. What's the cost difference? Engineering time. An extra month and a bit. Alright. Change the noodle? What? Anyway, let's run more pressure, because a lot of turbos these days are like high-pressure turbos. At 100 kilowatts, that is actually a lot of power. You know what, let's maybe drop that. Okay, there we go. Turbo starts to kick in at about 1,000 RPM and peaks out at about 3,000 RPM, which is fine. Press sport preset? No. 92 kilowatts is pretty good. That's somewhere around 125 horsepower, I think. Something like that. It's a bit hard to tell. Or maybe even 120. We're going to now lean this out a lot. A lot. Advance the timing. Maybe down the compression ratio. And headers are too hot. Let's down our power a little bit more. There we go. Let's play with the header size. Okay, that does actually change it. Okay. Since that's not really affecting anything, let's just make it larger. And then... Can we drop this down a bit? Yes, we can. Alright. Similar sort of numbers, but 87 kilowatts, which is now somewhere around 110 horsepower, which is pretty decent for a very small car like this. The exhaust is killing the engine? Okay, you know what? Got a little bit of extra power there. Let's go 1.5 inch. That's a very sort of standard size. Let's now try... Hey, there you go. You pointed it out. Thank you very much. Now we get that like a very small turbo advantage of boosting earlier. Compression ratio. There we go. No current warnings. Okay. And no dip below turbo boost. Oh, hold on. We want that to idle a little bit lower. What are we at? 800 RPM? That's good. 90 kilowatts. Once again, we're about at like 120-ish horsepower. Why aren't I using turbo map? Because every single time I've tried to use this, it's always bugged out on me. I don't like it. It may work now, but it never has, so I've learned to tune without it. Even though I suck still. Front wheel drive. This one... Automatic. Let's go advanced auto? No, this is really cheap. I wonder if there's a fuel efficiency. If there's a fuel efficiency difference, we're going to go with advanced. So we'll stay with that for now. We'll go 5 speed. Open differential. Radial tires. Hard long lights. 185s, they're a bit wide. Let's put that down to like 145s. Yeah, 145s look fine. Is it now more powerful than an MX-5? You know what? I don't actually know how much an MX-5 has. $135 kilowatts. No. No, this is considerably less power than an MX-5. This is also an economy car. I think they actually implemented an effect on inertia based on the balanced mass. What? I know that engines now have a different balancing sort of mechanism, so that's a thing? Is that what you mean? Rim type. You know what, we're gonna go steel with hubcaps. Actually, what sort of size tires do we have? 630s, that's fine. 15 inches. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Vented discs on the front. We'll go 1 piston. Then a drum on the back, because that's what the Spark had, and we may as well stick with that. Give it an AMD tune. You know what? We can do 3 variants. We will do that. We'll give it like a Brabham tune like they did to the Smart car, which was a terrible vehicle. Semi-clad, keeping it cheap. That looks good. Down the engine cooling a little bit. Seats. Wait. Oh, we can't go a bench in the rear? I mean, it's a smallish car, but it should be able to fit a bench in the rear. Let's keep this vehicle very cheap, though. We're going to go basic. No HUD. No infotainment. No sat-nav. Standard CD. That'll do. Hydraulic. ABS, it needs traction control. We'll just turn it off, though. Safety will be standard 10s. Standard springs. Twin tubes. We can try that out if we want. Then a passive sway bar. And we're just going to select sport, because everything else is too soft in BeamNG. Imagine not watching on a PS4 and using your phone to chat. My friend once won an EV SUV Mustang, but tried to sell it because it doesn't have a V8. 1010 my neighborhood since no, because it's what? Oh, 10 out of 10 of your neighbors said it was because it was an EV. I mean, I think you're lying, but I get not wanting to have an EV. That's your personal choice. Let's go to only 1 degree camber. You know what, actually, let's down this to like 0.5 degree camber. That's a very standard sort of camber. Let's increase the rear sway bar. And decrease the front sway bar. There we go. Wheels are looking good. Brakes are overly powered. But brakes usually are overly powered. Let's turn this down to a comfort. Really comfortable. Very comfortable. Mustang MVZ is a decent car. That's the SUV, right? I think what most people have a problem with that vehicle is the fact that they decimated their name brand to get instant sales, which shows that they have no soul or heart in their company anymore. It's all about the money, which is really disappointing. And I think that actually hurt them in a lot of ways. Like, sure, there's the people that don't want to buy it, and the people that are put off of the company because of it. But I think that they have hurt their future because of what they did. Sure, they'll still get their sales, they'll get the growth in market because that's what they need. because they'll just keep pushing everything. But they probably could have done better if they didn't decimate their now. Cutting off their nose to spite their face sort of thing. EV engine vehicle. No brakes, just roll non-stop till head-on collision? What? Are you talking about the brakes? Yeah. They're still a little bit powerful. That looks decent. Because locking up brakes is actually pretty easy to do in a car. What sort of top speed? 239 kilometers an hour! I think they've broken the game again, guys. Where's the arrow? 0.218. I mean, that's good. But with 120 reaching 239 kilometers an hour? No. That's not right. That's wrong. That's bad. Somebody told me that carrots cure depression. I'm still depressed, but I can see in the dark. I mean, no. Eating healthy can help. Getting lots of sunlight will help increase your vitamin D, which is very much linked to mood, is very helpful. And seeking help is also very important. We're using 5.7 liters to the 100. That's actually pretty decent. I would have liked a little bit better, but you know what? I'm not going to complain too much. That works. Test track drag coefficient is more accurate. Oh no, what I was saying is like the baseline body, because the body at the moment is very basic. Where is it? You said it's in here? Here we go, okay. 0.235. That's not groundbreakingly low. It is a very small frontal area. 0.37? That's wrong. That is not 0.37. What's the track width here? Track width, 1.25. And it's a little bit wider now because I've got even wider things. So this is actually probably 125 plus 80. So that's... I think that's 80 millimeters, right? Because these are in millimeters. That's an extra centimeter. One, 136 by about, say, a meter. Yeah. That is very wrong. I'm in a Film 86 chat. I don't go outside. Watch me outside in the backyard. Vitamin D is very important for mental health, but not the be-all and end-all. Self-regulation and maintenance for your mental health is very important, and something which is very much forgotten about in these days. What the fuck is the sun? Yeah. Break out the napkin maths? I mean, the thing would have to be incredibly short. So let's go one... Actually, my brain is really bad. I'd have to do this on paper. 1.35 is equal to 0.37 times that by x. So let's divide both sides by x. No, that's not right. Divide so okay, so divide that 1.35. Okay. So 0.37 divided by 1.35. Yeah, it would have to be 0.27 meters tall, which is like that. It'd have to be that tall in real life to get the cross-sectional on the front that low. That's why I don't think... That's 27 centimeters tall. That's how tall it'd have to be. Turn into a mathematician? No, I suck at math, so I had to do it on a napkin. As stated there by Omar. Wait, was it Omar? I don't know who said it. Anyway. I don't understand this. That is a mistake? Is that a glitch in the body, or is this... This is not a mod body, so... I feel like that's a mistake. What's the size of the engine? It's like a 120... You know what? Let's do that. Maths. Oh, 120 horsepower on the spot. There you go. 120 horsepower. Going 239 kilometers an hour. Methinks that's wrong. Let's try to line this up. We want this thing generally about 3,000 RPM to do 100 kilometers an hour or 110. So we want about 73 kilowatts. 73 kilowatts is about here. So I'm trying to make this realistic. That means we have to bring the gearbox back. So this point on the final one would be about here. Or you know what? Let's go 4-speed and bring this down a lot. Save a whole bunch of money. This is more realistic. That's not right. 148. Let's go 164. Whatever, that'll do. 2-speed manuals in 2020? Really? I mean, there's more than that. A hell of a lot more than that. But that's pretty cool. Hey Phil, have you seen the recreation of the first hybrid? I don't know what the first hybrid is. Go ahead and now, Border. Okay, see you later, Border 142. This vehicle now seems pretty darn good. You know what? Screw it. This is going to stuff up in BeamNG, so let's give it its thing. Tops out in this first gear a little too high. Did that move the graph at all? I don't think it did. Oh, it's just not changing very much. Okay. Alrighty, I think that'll do. 9.7 seconds to 100, that's because it has to go through 3 years. But 9.7 seconds is actually very good still. Probably due to that incredible aerodynamics. Well, I was actually about to say a little bit about your math skills. Was it bad? Anyway, let's do body morphing. That makes it look like a saggy boob, so we're not going to do that. We don't have any lower lip change, which is really disappointing. We have a full front change. We have this. Do that. Where's this full front change? Wait, what's this? Oh. Weird morph, but okay. There we go. Nah, that didn't do much. Ugh. That is now inverted. That looks horrible. Let's leave a little bit of a ridge there. What does this move? Not much. It's fine. It's the back end that looks really horrible, by the way. It's way too sloped and way too bulbousy. It just doesn't... I want to come down in a lot more. You know what, actually, that's looking better already. Oh, okay. We can slant that down a little bit, but not much. Is there anything else we can do on the back here? What is that? Oh, okay, more of this stuff. We might use that, who knows? Wheel flares. We can't change anything on the lower valence of the car. Looks like an ugly Fiesta. A little bit, yes, right now it does. Fun fact, I just figured out that the Koenigsegg 1, the name 1, comes from the power-to-weight ratio. Oh, really? Oh, okay then. Nice. I know there is, but that is, like, such a mess. And often I'm working on bigger vehicles, so, like, if you... Hold on, can I... No, I can't. Hold on. I want to show you a bit of an issue. There. Now it doesn't show any of them... Hold on. There we go. Now it doesn't show any of the morphs. So I've learned to not use this. Alright, paint job. I'm gonna make this plain white, I think. That's a very common color for these sorts of things. We'll make it a little bit interesting. We'll make the roof black, since it's given me the option. Why is it not a roof color? Why is it under a trim color? That is wrong, but okay. Near black, because straight black is really hard to do. Nah, alright, it'll do. You know what, actually, we might turn the shine down a little bit. No, that just looks wrong. Now on to start doing body morphs. Please play the Doom Eternal soundtrack. I don't want to get copyright struck. I've already had many problems with that sort of stuff. Not vents. What I want to do for my next line of mods is make more of these, because these are so invaluable in automation. Because trying to make a modern car without these just doesn't look right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the lip edge on here, and then I'm going to make my own versions of this. I feel that looks a little too aggressive for a base model vehicle. They may want to save the price just a little bit. This I've never figured out what it looks good on, because it never looks good. I feel that it doesn't really fit the theme of the car. That also doesn't fit the theme of the car. Yeah, this will just have to do. Alright, we're going to run with that. Basically going to do a different sort of variation of a car I've made previously on my own time. I feel the body shape's a little too simple for this, but we'll keep going. You'll write that up, it might get fixed. Admiral Obvious, are you a dev? I'm confused now. I mean, I've mentioned it before and they didn't really seem to particularly care because it's not also a big issue. I also don't like using that graph. Make it look like a Ford car or an old Fiesta Focus. I want to make a modern looking car. Headlights. What's so very narrow headlights are very popular these days. I am incredibly hungry. Probably should have eaten before I streamed. It's looking fairly good. We're almost getting this to match lines. I think instead what we might do is put, for the time being, a grill in there, and then later on we'll take that grill out and put that part that we just removed in to the EV version, because it'll be just the bumper. So what grill do we run with? Alright, we might Ooh, that's looking bad. Oh, actually, you know what? I like this kind of angle bit there. Since it's very popular to copy the Aston Martin design, I think, yeah, we're going to run with that. Oops, daisies. It's almost looking stupid now. Yeah, that's looking stupid, right? Looks like an Aston Martin. That's a Ford Fiesta. Ford just make some of the better looking cars currently. Maybe if we shorten this up a bit. Then we're gonna put back in a number plate slot. Yeah, that's looking a little bit better. Alright, let's get in some body shaping now. I feel that needs to go like right underneath the light here. No, that looks like stupid cheekbones, so we'll get rid of that. No, let's run that indented instead. I can never tell which one of these is which. Oh, it looks horrible. So let's go back to outside. That belongs in JoJo's? I'm offended. Doesn't want to look like... I don't think I said I don't want it to look like a Ford. I said, like, I'm not gonna... Like, I think what I was trying to say is I'm not going to... set out with a goal to make it look like another car. I feel that looks a little bit better. Alright. I think we need a second one. But, like, a lot more subtle. I feel now this needs to be longer. Maybe a little bit higher? Oh yeah, I think that looks okay. You can help with the AMG engine? I think we'll go with Brabham instead. I don't know. It's really hard to make cars look good in automation. Modern cars look good in automation. Run a couple of these on the hood. This is very GM, not very Ford. So there you go. You get a little bit of something here. That is really hard to see in white. And down that a little bit. This will be a little bit easier to see when we go to do the Brabham version. As I think we will run a metallic paint for that. Let's run a side skirt of sorts. We'll make that into a matte plastic. And we will run then some patchwork. Can I do this in one patch? No. Alright, we'll get to about there. It doesn't need to be that. There. Then we'll make this into matte plastic. There you go! Look at that! Fandiddly-tastic. Now that we've got most of this covered, I love the fact that they filled in the seams. I'm going to show you how I fill in that if I've never shown you before. So, look at that. There's still a white line there, right? Terrible. Absolutely atrocious. Instead, we're going to make it narrower. We're going to switch it to 3D by pressing 3 on the keyboard, moving it over at about 45-ish degrees, and then press 2 again. Making it narrow will make it more higher resolution with how these work. Not great. Then stretch it out. Well, it's a lot smaller than what it was before. But you get the idea. Now it's barely noticeable. And we're going to do that again. Oops. At the back end. And that's how I do my edges. Pretty hard to notice. And very effective. Let's go to hubcaps now. Let's put on some hubcaps. Do we have modern hubcaps? No. Unfortunately, just this. This is part of the reason why I don't think automation is really good at modern cars. Part of the reason. So primary wheel color is going to be a painted metal, and then the back wheel area is this one. Is going to be a plasticky sort of black color. And we'll turn the roughness up a lot. There you go. That's how you get fake alloy wheels. Same thing that I do every single time, but it works because it's just right. Like a straight up Aston Martin Signet? Not even close to a Signet, bro. Have you ever looked at an Aston Martin Signet? My drivers are crashing. Why have they changed the look of Google? It looks nothing like this. Looks mostly nothing like this. Fun fact, 80% of Americans cannot drive manual. I mean, that makes sense. I've already gone over how that happened. If you guys want me to explain it again, I can explain how that happened, that Americans don't know manuals. Is my camera in the right position? I'm slouched really hardcore right now. Let's do that and that. So I'm still in the camera frame. I gotta look pretty for my lovelies. There you go. There's a Lancia Stratos mod in the repo. Nice. I like the Stratos. Growing up, it's one of those like iconic cars. Even though it was like well out of date by the time I did anything, it was like on rally games and everything. It was pretty well known. Let's go for a door handle. There's a new door handle that I like. This one. It's very good because it like melds into the body shape. Let's go with this. I've never used it before. Now, I know it's a little bit out of fashion to not have the door handle the same color as your body, but I am going to change it. I'm going to have a matte plastic door handle, I reckon. I'm going to have a little bit of door crease accuracy. Good. Oh, I also want to show you guys something else. Woo! How do you like my camera angle now? They've been using automatics since the 60s. It's because they were so rich compared to pretty much the rest of the world that when automatics came out, they were so inefficient, so garbage, but very comfortable. So they were seen as premium. So everyone started making the switch to automatics when the rest of the world was trying to be more frugal on fuel and also on the price of their car. That manual stuck around for a lot longer. It's only really started to happen more since the 80s, I feel, of the transition to automatics being more popular than the rest of the world. Gotta go. Alright, see you later, Warbot Steph. Thank you for being here. Phil, do you know that some Ford cars has Aston Martin grills like a lot even? Yes. So, it's said that whilst Ford owned Aston Martin, that they were stealing designs from Aston Martin. And that infuriated the Aston Martin people. And that they started to become really difficult to deal with Ford. And it was around that sort of time that they offloaded Aston Martin. Which was a terrible idea because they started to become profitable in the supercar craze afterwards. Not the greatest idea. You want to get a Unimog? Oh, weird. Dual clutch, 9-speed, AMG engine oil drive. I know that they did own them. You don't like Ford? I mean, I still like Ford. What they did is what a lot of companies do. They see somebody else do something first and they're like, I like the design of that. The only problem in what Ford did in that sort of way is the fact that they took, what would you call it? The key design? One of the defining features of the design of Aston Martins. And I think that was a step too far. But other companies have done it as well in the past, and currently, recently, it has been kind of a craze on other companies as well. I saw recently Mazda has done it as well. I think Hyundai did it in one of their cars. I can't really remember. A little bit vague on it because I looked at it and went, nah, I'm not too sure of that. But yeah, this is the thing you can do with your camera. If you want to know how to do this, you go to top side profile. And if you just try to move the camera around, it'll reset. And you can see that it resets. So if we go top down again, if I just move a little bit, it'll immediately zip me down a little bit, because if you don't go down immediately, it'll cause an issue. So we'll go top down again. But if you rotate the camera, then move, yeah, it has issues. And I love it. I hope they don't fix this. Let's go this way now. And it now goes the other way around. Just a cool little thing. You can do it. I love it. Ferrari? What about Ferrari? This looks nothing like a Ferrari, I don't think. Because Ferraris are like soft, melted cheese. And I think Ferrari hasn't made a good-looking car since about the early 2010s sort of time period. Maybe late 2000s. Have you seen them won Australian Trails? What? Amazing if you go on Covenant off the road. Don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about Unimog, I think? Somebody was talking about that? I couldn't care less about Mercedes. I think they're a terrible company. Now, at least. Try the F9 menu. Yeah, there is F9 stuff. I've not really gone much into it because I've never really needed to use it. Let's go ahead and do the worst thing ever, which is try to put taillights on an automation car. I have an idea. I'm going to try something out. Something I've never tried before. My graphics drivers are starting to slowly crash more and more as time goes on. This isn't working how I wanted it to. You see, what I was trying to go for didn't work. Let's try it actually with this. Does this work? That almost looks like it fits the shape. Very Ford, I know, but I like Ford. I mean, it works. Give it 50 rocket bulbs? Oh, no, I'm good. Old focus lights? Yeah. It doesn't fit the shape, but the idea works. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to find anything that really fits. So, let's go something like this again. I know I use this a lot, but really, there's not much else that works. How does that work? Let's go hatchback rear. Alright, so what a lot of them do is have all of the main lights here and then just like a fake light there. Same with the Toyota. Same with the Mazda, which is trying to look like a Jaguar. Also, by the way, yes, this is another rip. They've taken a defining feature of the Jaguar and put it on their Mazda. Not cool, bro, not cool. Same with the Hyundai. Alright, cool. That's what we're going to do. Let's go with this. Now, the reason why I was so reluctant to put lights onto the rear tail light area is because you can't have lights on a moving section. And I think that's very specifically also including brakes, which means that you couldn't do this if this was actually how this worked. Because they don't want brake lights to fail. What sort of brake light do we have here? I think it's this one. Alright, that'll do. Let's get that body line lined up. Doesn't fit the body line, but it fits the body shape. Mazda's modern design language is hecking amazing. Sure, but they rip a lot of things from other companies. See, Japan companies haven't done this in a long time, but it's what their entire car design philosophy is marketed upon, which is just ripping better designs. Which is really disappointing, because most of the time when they do make their own cars, well, actually I shouldn't say that, half the time when they make their own designs, they look pretty good. Making an RC-V8 Power 28 Camaro. Okay, good for you. Now, let's do the back-end design. And we're going to try to do like a multiple layer sort of thing that I've seen other people do. So we'll grab this. Stretch it out. It doesn't actually need to be a functional rear diffuser. Gonna flatten that out a lot because I don't think they've ever made that look good. Then, I'm gonna use a grill. This is some nice piano music. And matte plastic everywhere. Then put this one on top. Yeah, that works. Let's shorten this down, maybe. Yeah, that's working. I like. Yeah, that looks pretty good. There are a couple of scale engine-powered RC cars out there. What? I'm so confused. We used to have hobby shop that specialized in those. What? Modern companies in a nutshell. I wouldn't say that every company rips from every other company, but I do understand your sentiment, at least. Let's go ahead, stick on... You know what, actually, I could use one of these. Let's turn this invisible, and we're going to stick the exhaust in here, I think. I don't think we have an exhaust that fits the shape, though, but we'll try. What I want is something like this, except flat on one side and angled on the other. Which they don't have. Damn it. So close. I loved a perfect shape. Wonder if this has anything other than... Nope, just drop downs. I wonder if... No, that won't work, will it? Frick, I was hoping that would fill in the gap. Now let's get rid of that. Let's try out one of these. Yeah, right. That does okay. Let's put this... No, we're going to use patchwork for this. Frick. Damn it, I hate working with things, multiple layers of things like this. Wait, does this have... Oh, it does have a layer thing. Oh, but then it makes like a big cutout. Alright, fair enough. Alright, let's just get rid of this. And I'm going to put back in this. So you got the cutout there. It'll do. Aside from the glamorous C-pillar, Omar, I think I have to agree with your take. Omar? FL, that ain't fair. I haven't seen a recent hatchback that has a good silhouette in a Mazda 3. Like the Mazda 3. That ain't fair. Haven't seen a recent... Not. Mazda 3 profile. I mean, it looks fairly good, but also weird.